Welcome to the Daily Block, the top things that actually moved crypto in the last day, and why you should both care and panic accordingly. Ethereum spot. ETFs suffer record outflows. About $795 million wiped last week. Spot ETH ETFs saw their biggest weekly redemptions ever, with heavy selling hitting the big names like Fidelity and BlackRock right as ETH briefly slid under $4,000. The outflows were brutally concentrated over 2 days, and that liquidity vacuum bled into altcoin chaos and heavier intraday swings. For traders, massive ETF flows are instant institutional liquidity movers. Big outflows can deepen technical breakdowns and create short-term trade setups and painful liquidations. Risk counterpoint. This could be a short rotation rather than a structural rejection. ETFs can reverse course quickly, so don't assume the bottom is in just because the graphs look sad. Moving on. Solana ETF approvals may be imminent. Analyst Nate Gerasi says 2 weeks. Several issuers amended S1 filings as for spot Solana ETFs, with some proposing staking features. Gerasi suggested approvals could land in roughly 2 weeks. European launches of staking Solana ETFs have pulled strong inflows, so the filings are arriving at a time when SOL itself is under pressure. Perfect timing for headline-induced squeezes. Why it matters. An approved Solana ETF would be a massive institutional on-ramp and a high-probability catalyst for SOL's price to re-rate and attract renewed flows. Great for momentum plays. Risk counterpoint. SEC approvals aren't a done deal. Regulators could delay, add conditions, or nix staking features, and that uncertainty can blow up hype-driven rallies. Next story. ASTER and ASTER decks explode, insane perp volumes, and a token moon that sparked conspiracy threads. ASTER reported eye-watering perpetual futures volume in the billions per day, while the ASTER token saw multi-thousand% moves, sparking immediate speculation about big exchange involvement. Binance COC publicly denied running the show, while acknowledging ex-employees and YZI Labs are involved. And suspicious market maker transfers, Wintermute, to Bybit and Gate, added fuel to the rumor fire. Why it matters. When exchange-listed tokens spike with narrative smoke and mirrors, you get extreme volatility and a very high chance of wash trading or traps. It's peak degen playground. Risk counterpoint. This kind of action often attracts regulatory attention and exchange delist risks. Some of those crazy volumes could be engineered and not sustainable liquidity. Switching gears. Block Deji ETH presale rockets past $410 million plus, and the Awakening testnet is live. The presale reportedly crossed the $410 million mark, with over 26.5 billion coins sold, and their Awakening testnet showcases account abstraction, miner integration, and mobile miners. The team claims shipped miners and millions already using the app, making it one of the biggest presale raises we've seen this cycle. Why it matters? When a presale reaches this scale and publishes functioning tech, you get both retail FOMO and institutional eyeballs. Listings can trigger massive intraday swings. Risk is counterpoint. Huge presales can be a double-edged sword. Token distribution, cliff unlocks, and centralized control can dump price fast at listing. Real adoption claims sometimes age poorly. On to payments. Remitix presale and product traction, 30K audit, beta wallet, and about $26.7 million raised. Remitix launched a beta wallet, enabling crypto to bank transfers across 30-plus countries, earned a 30K verification and high pre-launch ranking, and has roughly 40,000 holders while confirming early centralized exchange listings like Bitmart and LBank. The growth was turbocharged by giveaways and a 15% USDT referral program, which clearly stoked holder counts ahead of listing. Why it matters. Projects that ship payments products and pass security audits attract more durable demand than pure hype tokens. Traders rotate into utility presales expecting listings and revenue narratives. Risk counterpoint. Referral and giveaway-driven growth can be shallow liquidity, and payment rails plus compliance are a regulatory minefield that can throttle adoption quickly. Next up, XRP World. XRP ecosystem heats up. Rex Osprey, ETF debuts, and the XRP Tundra presale drops new mechanics. The Rex Osprey Spot XRP ETF has launched, while other XRP ETF applications remain in the pipeline. Presales like XRP Tundra are experimenting with dual token structures. A Solana utility token paired with an XRPL governance token, plus cryo vault staking claiming up to 30% APE and DAM V2 dynamic fee pools to punish dumpers. Coinbase's XRP supply on exchange has also hit multi-month lows, tightening available liquidity. Why it matters. ETF access plus novel presales and staking can turbocharge both retail and institutional flows into XRP and related launches. A clear thematic to watch for rotational flows. Risk to counterpoint. High staking yields may be unsustainable. Dual token complexity can confuse investors, and XRP's regulatory baggage still looms as a macro risk. Quick quant beat. Swissblock's aggregated impulse flashes a bottom signal for BTC and alts. Analytics firm Swissblock says its metric has reliably signaled previous lows this year and notes that altcoin breadth is starting to improve, suggesting the market is purging weak hands and setting up for rotation. They argue these resets often precede big altcoin rallies as capital flows off the sidelines into beaten-up names. Why it matters. Quantitative bottom signals plus improving breadth give a tactical green light for rotation trades into distressed alts and help time risk on entries. Risk counterpoint. Quant models can be overfitted to past cycles. Macro shocks or a bad liquidity headline can vaporize a signal faster than you can say, stop loss. Final one. Macro. Macro catalyst. Mike Novogratz says a dovish Fed chair pick could send Bitcoin to $200,000. Novogratz called a pro-easing Federal Reserve chair nomination the single largest bull catalyst for Bitcoin, painting a scenario where looser policy and weaker dollar dynamics could fuel a rocket to $200,000, while reminding listeners there are trade-offs for the broader economy. Why it matters. Central bank policy and leadership are among the biggest drivers of risk assets. Traders should be watching nomination headlines and Fed guidance as potential triggers for leveraged BTC and alt positioning. Risk counterpoint. Political picks are noisy and uncertain. Inflation dynamics could push the Fed the other way, and relying on a single macro event for massive leverage is a classic way to get liquidated. Quick notes for traders. Today's tape is heavy on pre-sales and promo coverage. Assume listings will be volatile, wash volume is possible, and a lot of the early holder growth is hype fuel. ETF flows and regulatory headlines still move the majors the most, so keep an eye on filings and SEC chatter. Remember to size positions like you care about not getting wrecked. If you like getting the fast, snarky version of what actually mattered today, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss when stuff breaks again, because it will. That's today in crypto, where the gains are imaginary, the pain is real.